Welcome to the world united. Welcome to the world united.
We move on to the next segment of our sessions, spirituality and the environment. Our first speaker is DARRYL de Souza. So, DARRYL's story of healing from 14 years of sickness within just 1 year of using integrative natural medicine has inspired millions across the globe to lead a better, healthier life. His book Become Healthy or Extinct on this topic is read in close to 200 countries. DARRYL was the secretary of the World United Doctors and Healers Association for 5 years when he curated and convened three of their continued medico spiritual education conferences. DARRYL is also an organic farmer, an environmentalist, TEDx speaker, founder of the Earth Keepers Connect, ambassador of the Vegan Nation, and convener of the New Earth Summit. Thank you so much, DARRYL, for being with us today. And your topic for today is Dharma and the Earth Keepers. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Samyukta. Namaste to all, Dr. Yugandhar, and all the wonderful people at World United, especially the team who have organized this wonderful event that has been going on for quite some time. I am privileged to be here on this stage, and pranams to our heavenly teacher, Mahavdar Babaji, as well. So first, I wanted to share about this word dharma, which is duty, and not the conventional term that we use dharam, which most people associate with religion, which is put into a certain format and all for the benefit of people as a set of rules, regulations, etiquettes printed in, books and coming through the spiritual heads of various organizations across the globe. But what I would like to share a little more about is this word dharma or duty. And also another word, sanatan, which means which is continuously present or perennial. So I'm not talking about sanatan dharma right now, but just the meaning of these two words. So what is the perennial duty of, for example, human beings, other beings on this planet, the sun, the moon, the stars, right? So duty comes from a responsibility or a return. First, you start receiving something, or you're in a particular environment and in a particular society, and you get something first. And because of that, you have a duty to fulfill in a reply or a response or a thanks to what you have been given. So we can call it a symbiotic relationship between society and yourself. So if we examine what is duty for human beings, of course, for every individual, it starts right at the time of birth. When you come out of your mother's womb, we take some things from this place, from Mother Earth. So the child's first breath, yes, we take oxygen, and that keeps us alive. The next food is breast milk from the mother. Now, if you notice that the air, it is one of the five elements of nature. Even mother's milk has got the five elements of nature in it: earth, water, fire, air, space. But scientific examination will tell you that the water element is the highest. For people who are more into the depth of it, like I'm into nutrition and into molecular sciences, they will be able to tell you, yes, first highest element is water, then is earth, then is fire, air, and space. Some people have also experienced a little bit of fire element, drinking too much of milk and getting acidity. So that's internal fire building up in the body. Now, from that mother's milk, these five elements go into the digestive tract, they get into the bloodstream, and the intelligence of this body that has been made by God or the cosmos or nature, it takes the water element and mostly puts most of it in the blood or the cerebrospinal fluid or the lymphatic fluid. It takes the minerals, which are the earth element like calcium, magnesium, puts it in your bones, and other, it's got lower percentages of fire airspace, which are distributed in the human body. After that, if you eat any fruit or a nut, for example, a nut has got more earth element. Then the next will be, depends if it's a ground nut and it's got a lot of oil, then you can say water element, then fire airspace. So from this, I'm just trying to explain one thing is that all through our lives, we receive these five elements maybe in a finer form, like sunlight, fire element, earth element through food or through walking bare feet, earth element, water element, of course, through the water supply. And so we partake of all this, and life happens to us. And after life is over, as our body is put in the ground, we say all elements are returned back to the earth. So the body completely dissolves. So the story that is playing out is we are made of the five elements. We have to be thankful for it. We get our chance in this physical body to play out our story, our uniqueness, our evolution, what we do in society as work or in service or in art and music. And after this, we are going back to the earth. This, I'm just speaking ideally what human beings should be doing. But unfortunately, if you look at what the modern world is doing today, we are taking all these natural elements, but we are not returning them in their purity back to Mother Earth or even Father Sky. I would say, what are the components of Father Sky? It's the sunlight, it's the magnetism of the Earth, it's the kind of stars, moon, sun radiation that we get from outer. So it's thin energy. So, what do human beings do with the air element? Of course, we breathe normally and we give out carbon dioxide. That is what all other species on this planet also do. But they return it back in its purity, and carbon dioxide is recycled by Mother Earth and it comes back into the circle of life. But in the name of modern science and in the name of innovation and creativity, of course, creativity is a wonderful God spark within human beings. And we have it to the highest degree, more than other species on this planet. And I will share a little more about it later of being in the box and being out of the box. So human beings have this capacity, a high degree of creator aspect that can think out of the box and create and do things that were never here on this planet before. So we use that creativity and we take in the air. We're not only giving out carbon dioxide, we take it in and put it in our machines, in our cars, and we create all kinds of, polluting gases. So we contaminate the earth element. We've taken the water, not only drunk it and passed it out, but we've put it into carbonated drinks and we've created so many things out of water which have become instruments of sickness. And the pollution from all the industries that go as effluents into Mother Earth, contaminating the water bodies and the soil. So we contaminate the water element too. The earth element, everybody knows what's happening. All of the mining that's going on in excess, or the chemical based agriculture and fertilizer system, which is actually putting man made chemicals that are not organic. So we use our creativity, and it's not a bad thing to use creativity, but we have to see the whole organism and what each of our actions are doing to the earth. And the question is, for every human being, what am I taking from Mother Earth and Fire Sky? And what am I giving back? So, this is what I call dharma. Our duty was, like all other species on this planet, to take the elements of the planet and which are of God, of course, We have to take them in their purity, use them, and innovate and create, and then give them in their purity back to the earth. But human beings are the only ones who have violated dharma. You will see all the other species taking in the five elements, returning back to the earth, and many species have got extinct, and you can't find any trace of them on this planet. But even if human beings go from here for thousands of years, you'll see plastic, you'll see so many things on this planet that were not natural molecules. Okay, so this is the first part that I wanted to say about duty. Now, people ask me, how is it possible that we can have a modern world and arts and culture and music and innovation and science uh, and not use this capacity of creativity? What is wrong in creating a 50-storied, concrete complex with air conditioning and an effluent system that is contaminating the sea? And different models of civilization. What is wrong with them? Uh, and how can you say that we can go forward without all of this work? And my reply is, well, we think that in civilization there were two paths, and one path was traveled by like the older civilizations or the indigenous tribes who are still there on the earth. They are living in the Amazon jungles. They are living in various jungles across, or whether it's in the Aborigines. And even till about 40 years, I remember my own childhood in Goa. We used to live a very natural life. I've seen days where there was no electricity in my house. There was no piping, there was no taps, there was nothing. We used to just drink, take out water well, and all of the elements of our house were made of natural things. So it was a very low carbon footprint. So I see the indigenous people are an example. They have arts, they have culture, they have a beautiful society, and they live more with the law of God. And I say the law of God and God's spirit is present in every living thing on this planet. It's in their DNA. And that's why, all of these animals, they do the natural thing. And we also have law of God, but we have got this creative aspect. And when we talk of human evolution, it should be complete. Not only looking for innovation that will bring us modern comforts, but seeing the result of each of our actions on this entire ecosystem. And because we have missed that lesson, you are seeing a world today with so much of pollution, so much of degradation, so many health problems, so many shortages of natural resources on the planet. So, all the ancient sages and the rishis, they never made things in a very directive way that don't do this, don't do that. They always say cause and effect. If you do this, this is what will happen. So at that venture in modern civilization, when we departed from, the organic way of living, some wise people did say that, this is going to cause pollution, this is going to cause depletion in the ozone layer. But the more creative people or the people with more money said, no, let us play out our idea and see. So free will has played on this planet, and it is also an offering by cosmos and creator. But now it's time for human beings to understand that they have tread down that path, and they are learning the lessons. All of us across the globe are suffering and learning from that wisdom. And now many people across the globe are trying to align themselves with more eco-friendly, all of this environmental movement, low carbon footprint that's happening. It's because of this. So I don't see anything in a negative light. I see everything in even if we create problems, it is because a bigger solution has to emerge. So that's one message, that yes, we have to respect the indigenous tribes of the world. They have been our teachers, standing in the background for all this time that we have said, no, we know what we are doing, we are modern, we are innovative, we've got intellect and all that. and they have been our teachers. Also, our other teachers are the plants, the animals, the earth, the water, fire, air, space. And we need to learn from them how to keep things natural, organic. So I'm glad that, this entire humanity is going through these birth pangs, through the suffering of what we are experiencing now is coming new innovation, new ideas, deeper lessons learned, and this path. So, Sanatan, the word Sanatan, perennial, right? We have forgotten what our natural duty and perennial duty was, and now we are coming back into that alignment. So, it's a wonderful learning journey. I see that, and the people who are, so many people are in the front lines and are researching and doing all of these things, showing, living by example, and teaching others too. And those people, I call them, and they're known across the world as earth keepers. So who are earth keepers? They're people who are deeply connected, and so many people are awakening to that deeper essence of themselves. And it happens when you go in nature. If you live in a concrete jungle, in a box, in a city, with all air conditioning, without sunlight, without nature, without animals around, without trees around, you are disconnected from all the manifestations. I call all of these manifestations of God. They are our real teachers. So as you come into more natural environment, you begin to see and learn lessons. You can learn a tremendous lesson just from a rose plant in your garden. You see, the question to ask is, am I teaching the rose plant, or is the rose plant teaching me? Right? So the rose plant will teach you that if you want me to be red, this is what you need to do with the soil. If you want me to grow straight, then this is how you should prune me. Right? So the more we interact with in real environment, the more closer we will get to natural law and the laws of God that are playing out through all of these. So earth keepers are those people who work very closely with nature and are trying to bring the earth back to a more healthier way where all the five elements get purified. So we're trying to, and this I'm also doing through an event that I just did the second edition of the New Earth Summit, and there we have all of these kind of people, and we have showcased solutions to our problems in health, food, farming, environment, sustainability. And this is, we're through this platform, we're sharing it with more and more people in Goa, in India, and across the globe, so that consciousness of people starts getting more into the dimension of uh, what is real life, what is holistic, what is symbiotic for this planet. And so many environmental organizations across the globe are innovating, thinking in this direction. Our educational systems are also going into the direction of becoming more experience based learning systems. And experience based learning systems work best in nature. So we're trying to create an eco community where learning happens in the field and not just on a, on a TV screen or just through a lecture or from a book. There's more of life and education in the open. And I see sometimes, if all that I will do in my lifetime is just helping people to get back to dharma, that is back to the understanding the natural laws of God, and all our actions, whatever we do and whatever we create, if we can help uh, do those things without contaminating these five elements in different forms, that would be, the single most, the best work that I could do. I would be doing it for the rest of my life, you know helping people understand what is natural law, and how. And there are some amazing communities. For example, at the first World Parliament on Spirituality, we had Daman Hor, and if you go to their website, you will see how they have organically evolved their community and how it's such a beautiful place of arts, education, holistic, natural food. So if you go to their website and you surface through it, or you go and visit them, you will think you're in heaven, right? So this is what we can, this is what I'm talking about. We can have such beauty, such innovation, such holistic learning and education, and we can heal the earth itself. So I invite, everybody to take a deeper introspection into what you do from morning to night every day, and specifically this thing, what am I taking in its purity and what am I giving back to the planet? And I think that would be a great movement for people all across the world. It's a deeper introspection to keep things in a more natural form. Also, visiting these indigenous tribes across the world, I think that would be one of the most educative experiences for anybody. I say they have been our silent teachers in the background, and we need to learn from them once again, and we need to collaborate with them. Uh, I'm part of a movement that's called Madhouse to Mudhouse, and that's where we are teaching people from uh, the urban people, who are living in these concrete jungles, because we know the repercussions of that. People who are living in concrete boxes, they are vitamin D deficient because they don't get, a sunlight. They're down in vitamin B12 because the natural bacteria that should come from food and groundwater and well water is not coming to their system. So anybody who's deeply into natural health knows the perils of living in those concrete boxes. So that's a wonderful movement where we're showcasing people that how you can come to the villages, support the villagers, create a local economy, work with nature, work with the land. And I think, every person, city-based person who aspires to have a natural, holistic, healthy life, I think they should, look at those opportunities.
Yeah.
So that was my message for today. Um, it's a deeper introspection for everybody. What do I take from Mother Earth in its purity, and what do I give back? Thank you.
Thank you, Darryl.
Thank you, Darryl. It was a wonderful insight for us about what is our give back to this planet Earth, and that too at a time when we are all shifting, things are changing, and we have sufficient time for introspection now. Yeah, thank
Yes.
you so much. It was wonderful listening to you. Thank you for all the valuable insights. A lot of us are now opening up to asking the right questions also. So thanks for that.
Yes,
And
thank you very much.
this is a small token of our appreciation for you for spending your valuable time and giving amazing insights to all of us. A small token on the digital platform. The World United proudly presents DARRYL D'Souza for being an esteemed presenter in the third edition of the World Parliament on Spirituality 2020 Asia. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you too so much. Love and blessings to all at World United.